Hey y'all, it's Lex. We're doing something a little bit different today and doing a sit-down video so I can tell you everything about my first year of college at Southeastern University. I gave you guys some question bubbles on my Instagram, and so we're going to be going through the questions that you guys asked me on there. But first, I want to give you a little bit of context to maybe the most asked questions. I'm from Kansas, so I am an out-of-stater. I am getting a ministry degree, specifically multidisciplinary studies, which is like a choose-your-own-pasta of a ministry degree. I think I'm going to minor in public relations. My first year I was involved on SU Creative. I also worked at Portico Coffee, which I absolutely loved. I just finished up my freshman year, and so this is everything about my freshman year. Let's get into these questions. First one is, what is campus life like? I love this question because this is exactly what I was wondering when I wanted to come to SU, and honestly, campus life is so fulfilling. Like, if I had to put one word to it, it would be fulfilling. There's always something going on in campus and people are so kind. Like, one thing about SU is I can walk from one side of the campus to the other side of the campus and I won't touch a single door because other people will open it for me. Chapel's on Monday nights, Tuesday mornings, and Thursday mornings. Those are so nice. Like, honestly, I cannot tell you how thankful I am for chapels this year, but those really make up the campus life. I lived on campus. I lived in Valencia my first semester, and my second semester I moved into BV just because I had some friends that were in there and they had an open spot, and I was like, why not? I would love to move in with you guys. And next year I'm going to be living in Bethany with my friend who is an RA. Her name is Hope. So I will be getting literally every single experience I could, honestly. How did you find a roommate? So before college starts, they will send out a form and have you fill out a My College Roomie. So you will go on this website, you'll fill out a personality questionnaire, and then you will try to match with somebody. It'll give you a percentage of how well you match with somebody, and then you can go through and find roommates on My College Roomie. It kind of is like a dating app, but for roommates. It's really interesting. And then also they post like on Instagram, they'll have like the SU 2020 whatever class you are, and you can find roommates on there as well, but you do have to match with them on My College Roomie to make them your roommate. I found my roommate through the SU 2028 Instagram, so that's how I found my roommate. But there's a lot of different ways to find roommates, honestly, if you get creative. What percentage of people there aren't Christians? I would say pretty much everyone at school is a Christian. You have to like write an essay to get in about like your walk with God, so it makes sense. Most people there are Christian. The university is very Christian, so like it doesn't really make sense to be there if you're not a Christian, if that makes sense. I would say the Christian community is very good, and there is a lot of people who are on fire for Jesus, and I've met so many people who have made me want to be a better Jesus follower because I can see their walk. Are there any co-ed floors? Just wondering for when I make my choice. So all of the dorms in SU are completely not co-ed. They're all girls dorms, all boys dorms. So the boys dorms are Valencia, Buena Vida West, and Destino. And the girl dorms are Bethany, which is a first year dorm. So you would stay there if you are an incoming freshman, but you don't have to stay there, but you can. Buena Vida East, South Point, they just switched it this year, Esperanza, and Aventura. Esperanza and Aventura are like the best dorms, but it is hard to get into those if you're not an upperclassman. What's the applying process like? Honestly, I did this like almost a year ago, so I don't quite remember amazingly well, but basically you submit your transcript, you submit your essay, and then you submit a couple other things that you might need, like immunizations or anything like that, and then you just wait, I think 2 weeks, and then you hear back. How was it applying? It's super easy, honestly. And if you want to apply to SEU, you can apply for free with my code LEXISEU, all caps, no spaces. I will leave a link down below if you're wanting to apply. That gets you a free application, so you might as well. What surprised you the most? This is a good question. I think what surprised me the most was seeing how differently people were like grown up. Like seeing the differences in independence, seeing the differences in like how people live, like, because I'd never really experienced that before. So I think it was beautiful to learn so much about myself and to learn so much about other people because I was so close proximity with them. My professor asked that question. Oh, I love her. I think if I was gonna say like what surprised me the most academically, because my professor asked this, I would say just how caring your professors truly are for you. they want to get coffee with you, and they tell you that. They're like, oh, well, I want to get coffee with you, and then you go up and you ask them, and they actually will like go get coffee with you. Like, your professors want you to succeed, and your professors want to know you. They don't want to just teach you, they want to know you. I'm just so blessed to have that, because I know other people, especially at bigger universities, don't have that. Was it difficult? My first year? Yeah, I would say it was difficult. I would say anybody's freshman year is probably going to be difficult, because you're learning so much about you, learning so much about other people. It's difficult because you want everyone to like you and you want to be friends with everyone, and then you realize like not everyone is your people, and that's okay. And I think another reason why it's difficult is just because there's so much new stuff. For me, it was difficult because I was so far away from my family, and I felt kind of isolated at times. Even knowing that I wasn't, like, I had people, I had things, but just being away from your family, you do tend to miss them. So I think that really got me. But just learning how to handle that, and learning that like this is the context of my calling, this is where the Lord has called me, and so just knowing that like it's gonna be bittersweet, but what a beautiful thing that I get to do this. Another thing is like I'm a first gen, so I had really heard a lot about social aspects of college, but not the academic aspects of college, and I wish I'd done more research and put in more like hard work. What's your favorite thing to do in your free time? Okay, on campus, absolutely going and hammocking in front of the library, or watching the sunset on the lake at night. Like, those are just my favorite things. Like, you can hammock and take a nap, you can hammock and read. Like, I'm gonna get a hammock next year because I would only hammock with my roommates. What was your favorite class? My favorite class was with Callie Butler, and if you guys come to Southeastern, you have to take a class with Callie Butler. Like, I'm tearing up. Like, I love her. She is the best professor I've ever had, and I just absolutely adore her, and I want to be her when I grow up. So Callie Butler, New Testament, my favorite class. How has it strengthened your relationship with Christ? I think this first year has really made me realize the weight of my testimony and the weight of my faith. Like how if I'm not careful, my faith can hurt someone else. And I think being at Southeastern has really strengthened my walk with the Lord in community, because there is so much community here and so much Christian community that I had no idea anything like this ever existed. And so I think that's just so beautiful to get to learn from other people and see. Like, I can see Jesus in my Bible, I can see Jesus in worship, I can see Jesus in so many different ways, but I see Jesus in the eyes of my friends. I see Jesus in the hands of my friends when they're serving. Like, it's so beautiful to see Jesus and learn more about him through the way other people are walking in alignment with his word. So I think that's one thing that this year has really showed me, and because I've seen other people be so genuine, it's made me realize how genuine and how intentional I want to be as well. If you could change anything about it, what would it be? I think I would change my time management. I think I would change my intentionality. I think I would be a lot more planned, a lot more structured. I think I would take more time to just sit and journal. What are your favorite things about SU compared to other Christian schools? Like, what is unique about SU? So one thing that I love about SU is that they don't have like crazy rules. Like, they have rules to keep you sanctified, to keep you holy, but they don't have rules that are just rules to be rules. We have a curfew, 1 a.m. and it's I think it's 21. Once you're 20 or 21, that doesn't apply to you anymore. And honestly, like, I came in late one time from curfew. I think it was because I was going to get Taco Bell, and they were just like, hey, just make sure next time you're back. And it was chill. Like, it wasn't anything crazy. I love that SU cares so much about the person and doesn't just like throw a bunch of rules on them and suffocate people. The other thing that I love about SU is how it is not just a college, like a Christian college, but it is a college that is Christian. We have house groups, which can be a lot of different things. Like, there's a run club, and they like read scripture and stuff, and it's a house group, and you get a chapel credit every single time you go. I love the chapels on campus. They're so beautiful. I love Chick-fil-A. I love our meal swaps, that we can like go swap a meal for pizza from Papa John's or a bagel from Einstein's. Like, that makes my life so much easier. Honestly, the thing that I think really makes SU stand out is its genuineness, and also that it's a smaller school. Like, there's like, think under 2,000 people on campus, and it being a smaller school just makes it like so easy to make connections and to get involved. Oh my gosh, it's so easy to serve. It's so easy to serve. You can serve at chapels and you get double chapel credits for serving at chapels. You can go to a Love Lakeland Serve Day on a Saturday and serve in Lakeland with the missions department, and like that's just so beautiful. You can serve at the Anchor House, which is like a house for like young boys who are in between homes at the moment. Like there's so many opportunities to serve, and I just think like such a time as this, like for such a time as this. And I think that's so unique to SU because it's so easy to get plugged in and serve. And I grew so much as a person this year because I got to serve other people intentionally. Biggest dorm tip. It depends on what dorm you're living in. If you're living in BV, my biggest tip is to get cushiony things to go on your ladder. You can get them off Amazon, but they literally work so good. I didn't have them, but my roommate did. Lifesaver. If I hadn't moved in at half semester, I probably would have bought them. If you're gonna live in South Point, I would say my biggest dorm tip is to get some storage for underneath your bed. I would absolutely say do that. And then like Bethany, if you're first year freshman, you're gonna have a closet that opens, so get some like hanging things that you can stick shoes in, or get some like a rack or something, and like get an ottoman with stuff in the middle. Hopi has one of those and it's amazing. So just optimize your space. Honestly, you can wait and order that when you get at school and that'd be totally fine. Tips for people planning on going out of state and far from home. So I am out of state and I'm far from home. Kansas is 21 hours drive. My biggest tip is if you can drive down, you should. That I plan on doing that once I get a car because I don't have a car. I would also say if you're going far from home, make sure you make intentional time to call your family and talk to your family. I wish I had been more intentional about that my first semester. Usually I like to call my families on Tuesdays or Wednesday nights because that's when all my siblings are home. But just making sure you're being intentional with them even though they're far away is a big tip. And you are going to miss your family, but know that like where you are is where you are for a season for a reason. Know like, yes, you know you're calling, yes, you want to be home, yes, you want to be with them, that you're calling, whatever it is, but know that your context, if you're at SU, that is your context you're calling, and just hold true in that and hold fast in that. Ooh, one thing, this isn't really a question, but I think one thing that I often get asked is like, do we have chapel on Sundays? We don't have chapel on Sundays. They really tell us to go invest in the local church, and there's so many local churches in Lakeland. A few good ones would be Access Family Worship Center, that's where I go. Heart of the Father, that one's really good. You could go to Church of the Highlands. Wait, they just rebranded. It's not Church for the One. They rebranded to that. And there's just so many. Like Grace City's good. There's so many. Like that's just me naming the ones off the top of my head, and there's so many more. So those are good Sunday churches. Why did you choose SU? SU is really the only school I ever looked into because I just knew it was what the Lord was calling me to. But one reason why I really love SU is because of their study abroad. They have amazing study abroad. I think I'm gonna go to Ecuador before I graduate. You can go to Rome or you can go to London as well. And I think they're starting up an Africa one as well, so that's crazy. But my favorite thing and one of the main things that really made me like want to go to SU was the really good study abroad, because I've always wanted to study abroad, and the class sizes were smaller, and also just the worship team is so good, and the chapels were so good, and the community was so real. And that's what I loved about SU, that it was real, that it was genuine, because I didn't want to go to a Christian college. I wanted to go to a college that's Christian. So that's what I loved about SU. I'm getting a lot of questions about scholarships. I got an academic scholarship and then a couple scholarships from back home. I also was on SU creative teams, and that got me a scholarship as well. But I would say if you're looking for scholarships, I'll leave a link below down to all the scholarship opportunities that SU has, and you can look through those and hopefully that'll give you some more clarity. Is there a worship team for students to join besides SU worship? No, there is SU worship choir. So basically how SU worship works is they have different teams. So they have a different team for Mondays, they have a different team for Tuesdays, they have a different team for Thursdays, and then they also have like the scholarship teams, I believe is how it works, and those are the people who like go to Winter Jam, those are the people who like help record, and those are the people who like do all the extra stuff. They also have a preview day team as well. So there's a lot of different teams for SU. They also have the SU worship choir. However that works, I'm not on SU worship. But yeah, they have tryouts at the beginning of each semester, so it's if you're wanting to get involved in that, it's really honestly easy to like find the information on that for sure. When should I take my classes, morning or afternoon? Morning. People will say, don't take classes in the morning, take them in the afternoon. I love taking my classes in the morning because then I can work in the afternoon and then I can have my evenings to myself. So I take most of my classes in the morning. How close are you to the beach? SU is like hour and a half from the good beaches. It just depends on where you want to go. But like my favorite beach is I think an hour and 15, hour and 30 minutes, which isn't horrible at all. And then Disney is like an hour away. It's like 45 minutes, but then with traffic, it's usually about an hour. So most people have Disney passes or Universal passes, and we love going. It's so fun. Dress code, just dress modest. That's what it says in the handbook. Isn't like super crazy, I would say. I would say it's a little more lax, which is good. What denomination do you stand by and what do you go for? I am in the Assemblies of God denomination. My church from back home is Assemblies of God, and SU is an Assemblies of God school. How do you make long-lasting friendships? Just go, get out there. Like, just go to things. Like, your first week, it's gonna be like scary and you're not gonna want to get out and you're not gonna want to do things. But that literally is the enemy. Like, get out and do things and go to everything that you can or that you want to. Obviously, take rest, but go to things and you will make friends. And honestly, it took me a second to find my Hopi, but once I did, I'm forever grateful. So, can you see? This is an amazing question to end on, and I'm gonna cry. Can you see growth between senior Lexi and freshman in college Lexi? I'm literally gonna cry because I was just thinking about this earlier, but like, I really do. I really do see growth in myself. And that makes me so excited to grow even more. But even in just my knowledge, like what I know, like I did not know the things I knew before I did now. I still do feel like I have so much to mature in, but I see growth in my demeanor. I see growth in how I handle things. At the beginning of this year, I was really praying like, Lord, I want to be a gentle person. I don't feel like I'm gentle. I just don't. And after this last semester, I feel gentle, which is something like I know I have so much more to grow in that space, but I've never felt gentle. And I think that just comes with me letting go of a lot of things. Like if I could go back and tell myself before coming to SU, I would just tell myself everything is already planned out for you and the Lord has ordained your steps and you do not need to worry. All right, that's the video. I love you guys and I hope you have an amazing day, and as always, go in His grace.